Hello everybody, I'm Jack of all trades. Somebody requested me to make a video about the video game collection I own. There's some of the games right over here. So I thought it would be fun to do so. First I want to start with the consoles I own. I've got them right over here. There's my NES and Guitar Hero guitar. It's not really a console, but yeah, I don't have any space anywhere else, so. There's my PS3. I also have a PS1 and PS2, and I also have a PSP, PS Vita and Nintendo DS. Yeah, you could say I'm a PlayStation fan, I suppose. The only console I don't own is the PS4, excuse me. I will get one eventually, but I guess during this summer holiday I want to spend my money on upgrading my PC to an i7. So yeah, maybe next year, but I will buy one eventually. So yeah, let's start off with my PS1 collection. I have quite a few of PS1 games. So yeah, let's just start off. Right here I've got Army Man Land Sea Air. It's a pretty awesome game. It has some stiff controls, but the game itself is really awesome. And of course we've got Crash Bandicoot Warped. It's in my opinion the best Crash Bandicoot game ever created. Also one of the best platformers ever created. Of course, we can't forget about the first Crash Bandicoot. In my opinion, by far not as good as the second and third, but it's still a really awesome game. If you have a PS1, PS2 or PS3, I'm not sure if the PS4 is backwards compatible with PS1 games, you definitely owe it to yourself to pick those games up. Especially if you have a PS3, because you can pick them up at the PlayStation Store for like $5 each. While we're talking about Crash Bandicoot, here's Crash Bandicoot 2. Which is also an amazing game, almost as good as the third one. If you're more in kart racing and stuff like that, here's another Crash game, Crash Team Racing. It's basically Mario Kart for the PlayStation. According to a lot of people, it's just as good, if not better. I haven't really played that much Mario Kart, so I'm not sure about that, but I can tell you that this game is really amazing. Then we have Alien Trilogy. This is the game that made me love Alien. It's also probably the game that gave me my facehugger phobia, because there are plenty of facehuggers in here. It's really awesome. It's kind of like a Doom style shooter, I suppose, but with xenomorphs instead of Doom aliens or whatever you want to call them. Another great classic, Tomb Raider. Yeah, you can't really have a PS1 collection without this game. I do have quite a few Tomb Raider games, we will get to that later. This is definitely one of my favorites. I think this is my favorite Tomb Raider game. Also, Tomb Raider 3 is also pretty amazing. Here's Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. Yeah, it's nothing special really compared. It's really outdated. Back then it was pretty amazing, but right now, yeah, this game doesn't really have anything special to offer. Here is Senvane. Yeah, this game was part of a collection. I haven't actually played it yet. I have quite a few games in my collection I've never played, which is, yeah, I should probably try it out. I have no idea what it is, but yeah, okay. Here we have Alien Resurrection. Yeah, I need those Alien games because I'm a huge Alien fan. The game itself is actually pretty terrible. The game itself is first of all pretty hard, and second of all there is a glitch at the beginning of the game. I don't know what triggers the glitch, but if you trigger the glitch, one door doesn't open ever and you're stuck. So yeah, I have been past that part a few times and then I just get killed by a few guys. I have seen only one alien ever, and yeah, that's even harder than shooting guys. So then we move on to Command & Conquer Retaliation. I have no idea why you would even buy this on the PlayStation. It really sucks ass. Well, the game itself doesn't suck, but the control sucks ass. So yeah, if you want Command & Conquer, go to PC. It's part of a collection, otherwise I wouldn't have it. Next up, another really awesome game. A really good classic. Oddworld, Apes Odyssey. absolutely one of the best 2D platformers ever made. They recently released a remake of this game. I suggest you pick it up. It's really, really amazing. The remake is at least just as amazing as this game. And then we move on to another Command and Conquer Red Alert. Yeah, I don't have anything to add about this game. I didn't already say about the previous one. And same for the first Command and Conquer. Go get them on PC. Then we move on to Point Blank 2. This was also part of a collection. I have never played it because it's a light gun game and I don't have a light gun. And I'm pretty sure if I had one it didn't work on my TV. That's also why I don't have an NES Zapper. I really, really love to have one. I even have Duck Hunt, but the Zapper doesn't work on modern TVs, which is really a shame. Then we have the first Point Blank. Yeah, I have nothing to add about this game. K1 Arena Fighters. I have never really got the chance to play it because it takes a huge amount of space on your memory card. And yeah, you can probably see that free space on my memory card is a big problem. Then we have Worms Armageddon. Yeah, who doesn't love Worms? Worms is amazing. I really love this game. I really, really love it. But yeah, you're probably better off getting it on PC because the PC version supports multiplayer and I believe this one is also available on Steam. So yeah, you should probably get the PC version so you can play online with your friends. If you have a lot of friends over, though, from time to time, and then you can just, play hot seat with your friends. You only need one controller for that. There's another good classic, Ape Escape. It's a third-person adventure game where you have to catch monkeys. It sounds kind of dull, but it's actually pretty amazing. I have to keep it short though. I can't really explain too much details. Time Crisis, Project Titan. It was also part of a collection. I have no idea what it is. I think this is also a light gun game. I'm not sure though. Oh, it says analog control compatible. So yeah, it isn't a light gun game probably. But yeah, I'll have to look into it. Yeah, who doesn't want this one in his collection? Pure survival horror classic. It's a pretty amazing game. Not as good as Silent Hill, but yeah, I really, really like it. Unfortunately, I don't have Silent Hill for the PS1. I have, well, at least I don't have a hard copy of it. I do have it on my PlayStation. I don't know if it's installed right now, but yeah, at least I have it. Then we have Heart of Darkness. I hate this game. I absolutely hate this game. And if I hear anyone ever compare this game to Oddworld again, I'll break your fucking jaw. It's a pain in the ass. It's way too hard and there's no fun to be had with it. Then we have a game about the Olympic Games. Yeah. Could you imagine how much fun it is? Yeah, you're right. It's not fun. It's in German and I can't read German, so yeah. Then we have Road Rash. It's an awesome it's basically a racing game with combat. You can acquire weapons like bats and stuff like that to knock your opponents off the bikes. It's really fun. Then we have another racing game. Nothing amazing. Maybe back in the day it was pretty sweet, but yeah, compared to the modern racing games, yeah, it's nothing special. Then we have Bugs Bunny, Reis door de Tijd, or Lost in Time if you're English. This is probably the best movie licensed game ever made. Maybe except for Alien Isolation. But it's really, really, really sweet. It's awesome. If you have a PS1, go pick it up. Really. Then we have Medieval. Also a really, really awesome game. You basically play Sir Daniel, who his legend says that he killed the evil wizard, but actually he didn't. He is just a coward. And when the evil wizard rises again, he gets resurrected, and now he has to, reclaim his pride, to put it that way. And then we have Rayman. A real classic. I'm not a big fan of Rayman, but I can see why people like it. Then we have Disney's Tarzan. It's not as much fun as I The game is not as much fun as I had with it when I was younger, but it's still a cool game. Then we have Tombi 2. Pretty much just as weird as the first Tombi. If you've seen any of my other YouTube videos, I'm doing a let's play on the first Tombi right now. This one is really weird. It's a combination of 2D and 3D. It's kind of hard to explain. It's also just like Tombi, probably the most valuable game in my collection. It usually sells for about 90 bucks on Amazon. So then we move on to the next one. Tomb Raider 3. It's really awesome. I really love this game. I really do. But it's probably better to get the PC version, because in the PC version you can save wherever you want, and in this game you have these things you have to pick up, and yeah, it's just like the ribbons in Resident Evil. You have to use one if you want to save. Although you don't need a typewriter, so you can save any way you like, but you have to use an item for it. Tomb Raider 2, however, lets you save wherever you want. It's also a pretty amazing game. I definitely recommend it if you have a PlayStation. And then, yeah, some of you probably already know I have this game, Tombi. Definitely one of the most valuable games I have in my collection, together with Tombi 2. But yeah, I already said that, so let's move on. Disney Pixar's Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. Another amazing movie license game. I really loved this game when I was younger. I still love it today. I haven't actually played it that much, which is a shame. I really should. Maybe I should play it this afternoon when I have some spare time. And then we have Alone in the Dark, the new Nightmare. It's not the most scary horror game, but I really love it. But that's probably because I played this game when I was younger, together with a friend. Back then we used to love horror games. We played the demo of Silent Hill 4 a billion times together. We really loved it. And then a friend of mine came with this game for the PC, so we played the living hell out of it and we absolutely enjoyed it. And it really scared us, even though it ain't that scary. But yeah, if you're 8 years old, a lot of things are scary. Epidemic, I have no idea what it is. Maybe I should check it out someday. I think I've actually looked it up on the internet what it actually is, and it's a pretty bad game for as far as I remember. Apes Exodus. From as far as I've heard, there are a lot of people who like this game way better than the first one. I think it's just as good as the first one. I really enjoyed it. Another copy of Tomb Raider 3, I really should sell this one. Dragon Ball Final Bout. I can imagine it's a fighting game. I'm not too big on fighting games. Maybe I should try it out just for fun. Then we have Dino Crisis from the creators of Resident Evil. It's supposedly it's kind of the same as Resident Evil. I never really got the chance to play it. I really should. But yeah, that's what you get when you buy a collection that consists of probably 30 games, and without that much time to actually play them. Then we have Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. It's a really weird game. It's a third-person Duke Nukem shooter. So yeah, I guess it ain't bad, but it ain't that great either. So yeah, let's move on. And then we have Road Rash Jailbreak. It's just pretty much the same as the old Road Rash. It's really awesome. And then we have Destruction Derby Raw, another amazing game. I really love this game. It's basically a racing game, but your vehicle can get destroyed, and there are also game modes, and you can destroy your opponent's vehicles. It's like Next Car Game, but then for the PS1 and without those amazing soft body physics. And then there's Lucky Luke. I really loved this game when I was younger. I don't really like it anymore. So yeah, next. Disney's Atlantis, The Sunken City. I have no idea what it is. I've never really played it. I am also not really interested in it. So yeah, move on. Worms World Party. This is definitely one of the best Worms games ever released. I really love it. You should probably get it on PC. I have no idea if they actually have the game on Steam, but yeah, there is a PC version out there. So there is Jeremy Magrette's Supercross 2000. Yeah, what should I say about this game? It ain't bad, but it ain't that great either. Yeah, so yeah, let's move on. And then we have music. I really, yeah, how should I put it? I mean, I think the concept of the game is amazing, but I never really got into it. It's basically a music creator. There are several beats, tunes, sound effects you can choose from, and you can use those to compose your own techno songs and stuff like that. I like the idea, but you actually have to know what's in your library in order to create an awesome song, and I never really took the time to look into that stuff. And then we have Bust-a-Move 4. It's some kind of... Yeah, there are a lot of mobile games that are like this. I have no idea how those mobile games are called, because I am not interested in it. And I am also not interested in this game. And if you thought that's all, well, think again. I've got a bunch of other games here. Like Driver. This was the game to play if you wanted awesome cop chases. This was great way before GTA was even popular. Really love this game. I should get it fixed though, because it's damaged. It has a few scratches. Then there's Medieval 2. Not as amazing as the first Medieval, but yeah, it's fun. And then we have another great classic game, GTA 2. Really loved this game when I was younger. I actually played it on PC, but the PlayStation version is almost just as amazing. You can actually download the game for free on rockstargames.com/classics, I believe. And it should work on modern PC. So yeah, if you want to play GTA 2, you can just download it for free. But yeah, it's a great game to have in your collection. Unfortunately, I don't have a case for it. But yeah. King of Bowling. Generic bowling game. Nothing interesting. Another copy of Rayman. Already talked about that. Freestyle Scooter. It's a generic scooter game. Nothing interesting. And then we have Disney Pictures Monsters Inc. And I don't know what the correct English name is of the last part. Yeah, I never really got into this game. I don't really like it. Oh, let's move on. International Karate Plus. I really love this arcade style fighting game. I really like it. I also really enjoy the theme song. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing game. I've never actually seen it anywhere else, so I have no idea how popular it is and how rare it is, but I enjoyed it. And then we have Oddworlds, Apes Odyssey. Already talked about that. Disney's Pirate Planet. Yeah, also another game I don't really enjoy. And then we have Actual Soccer, a generic soccer game. I'm also not too big on soccer games, so yeah, let's move on. A generic pinball game. Got to have those. And then this is 360, I believe. I'm not sure though. This is an ice hockey game, but I never really got too far into the game because the disc is scratched. Come on, get off. Then we have Colin McRae Rally. It's actually a demo, which sucks because the game itself is pretty amazing. I should actually pick it up. Oh. Get off. Come on. Oop. Hold on for a second. Yep. And then we have Gran Turismo 2 arcade mode. Yeah, the disc containing the actual GT mode is broken. The arcade mode sucks. The GT mode, on the other hand, is really awesome. It's not as great as the newer Gran Turismo games, but yeah, it's still an amazing game. And then we have even more. I'm not too sure how many of them I have left, but there are a few in here. So yeah. Let's just have a look at them. There's Fighting Force, which is also a demo, which is a shame because Fighting Force is a really amazing brawler game. Then we have nothing. Die Hard Trilogy 2. I heard the first trilogy is one of the best movie license game ever created. I never heard anyone talk about Die Hard Trilogy 2, so this one is probably not as amazing as the first one, but I really enjoyed the living hell out of this game. I really love it. It contains three parts. It contains basically a light gun kind of shooter where you use the arrow keys to move your crosshair. There's a third person shooter part where you just can run around and shoot people. And there's also a part where you can get where you drive your car around. Really love this game, really do. Then there is another demo, don't care about those. Rainbow Six Lone Wolf. I haven't played this game too much, but Rainbow Six usually involves a lot of tactics and stealth and stuff like that. I should probably look into it a little later. And then we have Station 4, which is also a demo. And then there's another demo. Don't care about that. Demo. What's this? Another demo. Registered user demo, so that's probably also a demo. And then there's another demo. I believe I actually have Siphon Filter 2 around somewhere, which is also a really amazing game, but I have no idea where it is. So yeah, I can't show you guys. I think it's actually in another folder containing. So, oh, hold on. I think I see where. I think I see the thing where I keep it. So yeah, that's not it. That's not it. Oh yeah, there's also GTA 2 for the PC. Because why not? Alone in the Dark for the PC. Worms 3D for PC. Another Alone in the Dark. Spec Ops Covert Assault. Never really got into the game. Didn't really like it. And yeah, Siphon Filter 2. And Pokemon, the trading card game for PC. But yeah, Siphon Filter 2. Pretty amazing game. I really liked it. It's kind of a tactical game for as far as I remember. I'm not too sure though. It has been quite a while since I played it. But yeah. There's World Cup 98, a soccer game. There's the other disc from Siphon Filter. And there are some CD-ROMs containing some useless programs. So yeah, those were my PS1 games. So yeah, up to my PS2 games. I've got quite a few of those as well. The weather has changed quite a bit. It's gotten a lot more windy, so you'll probably hear the wind blow in the background. It has only been a half an hour since I recorded the PlayStation 1 part of the video. But yeah, let's move on to Forbidden Siren. Really awesome horror game. I didn't get too far into it because I'm stuck at a part, but yeah, so far I really like it. I don't like it as much as Siren Blood Curse, but yeah, it's pretty good. Then we move on to Firefighter FD18. This is probably the rarest game in my collection, based on the fact that it was really hard to get. It actually ain't that expensive. I paid £5 for it. Yeah, I actually had to import it from the UK, which isn't a lot. I actually paid more shipping costs than I actually paid for this game. I have never really heard anybody about this game. Which is a shame. I really like this game. This is one of those games I actually want to record and upload to YouTube. But yeah, as I said before, I don't have the equipment to record this straight off my PS2, and I have problems with emulators with the PS2. So yeah, that probably ain't gonna happen anytime soon. But hopefully it will eventually. Then we have FIFA Street. It's a soccer game, but instead you play on the street instead of on grass. Yeah. Then we have Dog's Life, which is also a pretty amazing game. The goal of the game is pretty simple. You basically have to collect an X number of smells, and you have to play some mini games. But they've really done a great job to keep the game interesting for at least for quite a while. It eventually will get boring, at least that's how I experience it. But it's still an amazing game. If you come across it, pick it up. You won't regret it. Then we have Destroy All Humans 2. The game where you play an alien and complete missions against humanity. Really like this game. Also, I didn't get too far into it, but yeah, I really like it. It has some funny stuff and stuff like that. Then we have Def Jam Fight for New York. Ever wanted to play a fighting game containing your favorite rappers, which is absolutely zero in my case. But yeah, this is a fighting game that contains rappers and a lot of rap music, and it's actually pretty brutal. Even if you are not really a hip hop and rap fan, it's still a pretty awesome game. So yeah. Then we have Commando Strike Force. I've got mixed feelings about this game. On one side, it's not as bad as most people make it out to be. I actually had quite a lot of fun with it. But on the other hand, this is basically the game that killed the Commandos franchise. I really used to love the Commandos franchise. For those of you who never played Commandos, it's basically a real-time strategy game. And you control a small group of commandos deployed behind the German front lines during the World War. You have to complete a certain amount of objectives. It's really awesome. This, on the other hand, is a first-person shooter. Yeah, go figure that out. Then we have another really amazing game. This is why the PS2 is my favorite console of all time. It has so many amazing games. Canis Canem Eat It, or as most of you will probably know it, Bully. I don't think I actually have to add any more about this game. It's really awesome. Go get it. Black and Bruce, which is a cartoon-styled boxing game. I had quite a lot of fun with it. It's decent. It's decent. Then we have the best single-player shooter of all time. Ta-da-da-da! Black. Really love this game. I seriously really want to record a let's play of this game. I really love it to death. It's my favorite first-person shooter of all times when it comes to single-player. It's just really brutal. If you have a PS2, go get it. Pause the video, run to the store and buy it. Then we have 50 Cent Bulletproof, a generic third-person shooter with 50 Cent and a few songs from 50 Cent. Yeah, next. GTA 3, a real classic. This is probably the game that made open world games really big, or at least free roaming games. I really like this game. It's a lot better on PC, I should say. It's really hard on the PlayStation, way harder than it should. But yeah, if you like open world games like GTA and haven't played this one or don't have it, yeah, then you should pick it up. Then we have Soldiers of Fortune Gold Edition. Nah, it's not as great as I imagined it was. It has got some gore. You can actually shoot limbs off with shotguns and stuff like that, but yeah, it isn't that amazing. And it looks really ugly, even for a PS2 game. So yeah, next. Then we have Driver Parallel Lines. This game didn't get enough credit by far. Most people see this as a cheap GTA knockoff, and I have to say GTA is miles better. But it doesn't mean that this game sucks. I actually really enjoyed it. I really like this game. I'm actually playing through it right now on my PS2. Well, not at this very moment, but yeah, I'm actually playing it. I'm actually gonna play it today probably. Continue with it, and then we have MotorStorm Arctic Edge. Yeah, if you like MotorStorm, stay away from this one. It has really wonky physics. It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. This is actually a PSP game. It has been ported from the PSP, so yeah, that's probably explains a lot. Also, yeah, the PS2 is also not the most powerful machine, so yeah, that might also be the reason that the physics are a bit wonky. Then we move on to one of probably my favorite racing game of all time. Bam! Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. Really love this game. This game basically, completely, utterly destroyed Need for Speed for me. I will never really enjoy a Need for Speed game ever again. Thanks to this game. It's really that amazing. It's actually available on the PlayStation Store, but for some reason the game has some frame rate issues on the PS3, which is weird because the PS2 handles the game just fine. Then we have another Rockstar classic, Max Payne. Really love this game. It's really difficult as well on the PlayStation. But you should probably pick it up on PC if you want to play it. But yeah, I really enjoy this game. Then we have Matrix Path of Neo. This is, I believe, a third-person shooter. Yeah, it is. I haven't really put that much time in it. It ain't that great either. So yeah. move on to Manhunt 2. Yeah, this probably defines brutal, but that's basically all it does. I don't. Besides the brutality in this game, it ain't that great if you ask me. So yeah, let's move on. 2. Lego Racers 2. Yeah, if you like Mario Kart and stuff like that, then you might find this game enjoyable. It is not as great as Mario Kart, it has really wonky physics and stuff like that, but on the other hand you get to build your own cars and you actually can destroy other people's cars. If you actually hit a car, bricks fly off his car, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I guess it's okay, but let's move on. To Jackass the Game. This is basically a game that contains a lot of minigames. A lot of weird minigames. It has got some disgusting stuff you'd expect from a Jackass game, but yeah, nothing more than that. Then we have the Hitman Collection Pack, which contains Hitman 2, 3 and Blood Money. Blood Money is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I really love it. Hitman 2 and 3 are great as well. Not as great, but yeah. You should probably pick it up on PC if you want it. Because the PC version also includes the first Hitman, which is also hard as balls. So yeah, if you like a challenge, you should probably play that one. You should definitely at least have played Blood Money at least once in your lifetime. Then we have Guitar Hero 2 and Guitar Hero 1. They're basically almost the same. The only thing that difference are the songs. I really love these games. Metal is basically my favorite music genre. I really love it. Really love these games. So yeah. And then we move on to Gran Turismo Concept. It's basically one big arcade mode. It sucks. Nothing special. Then we have Gran Turismo 4. Decent racing game. Compared to Gran Turismo 3. It sucks. But it's still decent. So yeah. And then we have the best racing simulator game ever. Gran Turismo 3. It has so many different events. It's just insane. It's gonna take you a really long time to finish this game. So yeah. And then we move on to, I don't actually have the correct case for it, GTA 5 City Stories, which is a PSP game ported over to the PS2. It's fun. I didn't really get into the game. I suppose it's not as great as the other GTA games. And then we have one of the best, probably the best last generation, well I should say 5th generation game, because the last generation is PS3 of course. GTA San Andreas. I'm actually doing a playthrough on this right now on the PC version. If you've seen the videos, then you know that I would actually have preferred to play the PS2 version. But yeah, I guess the PC version is also fine. I'm having a lot of fun with it, so yeah. Then we have The Getaway. It has a stupid control scheme. I can't control it at all. It probably requires a lot of getting used to, but I'm not really into that. So yeah, I might give this game another shot though, because it looks interesting, but so far, nah, not that great. Then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! I am a huge Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. I really love the card game. As you can probably see right there, I have the original Egyptian god cards standing there for display. This however is, yeah, they pretty much took the fun out. This is based on the card game. This is not the actual card game. So yeah, it fucking sucks. Then we have 13. A first person shooter based on a actual comic book, I suppose. I believe there are actually comic books made from this game. There are actually comic books. Yeah, how do you say that? There are actually comic books. This is based on an actual comic book called 13. Damn, I really forgot how to English. But yeah, it's amazing. I really love it. Then we have Smackdown. Just bring it. Awesome fighting game. Guaranteed a lot of fun when you play this with friends. It actually has a pretty decent and in-depth character creator, which is awesome. I didn't really expect that for the PS2. I remember this game from a demo. I played the living hell out of the demo, and I picked it up later when I bought another PS2. So yeah, definitely, definitely recommend it. Then we have Worms 3D. It's Worms, but in 3D. Really awesome. I really like the game. Then we have another great first-person shooter, Viet Cong Purple Haze. Get it on PC, seriously. The PS2 version has really terrible controls. Also, the Purple Haze is basically their kind of Game of the Year edition, or Gold edition, I should say. So it should contain the original campaign and not Purple Haze, First Alpha. But this game only contains the First Alpha campaign. So yeah, get it on PC if you can find it anywhere. It's actually not on Steam, which is a shame. Really love this game, really do. True Crime New York. Terrible control scheme, never really got into the game. So yeah, move on to True Crime Streets of LA. Same story. And then Tom and Jerry, Strijd der Snorharen, or War of the Whiskers if you're English. It's a fighting game between two of my favorite cartoon characters, Tom and Jerry. It also contains a lot of other characters. I really love this game. I really enjoyed it. Then we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's basically Battlefield, but with a Star Wars skin. And it's really awesome. But get it on PC. It's way better on PC. And then we have SOCOM 3 US Navy SEALs. It's a third-person tactical shooter. I really, really love it. It does have a lot more action than SOCOM 1. I have the feeling that the first SOCOM was a lot more tactical, which is a shame, but it's still an amazing game. SOCOM 2, same story. SOCOM 1, as I already mentioned, yeah, it's a lot more tactical than the third part. I really love this game. I really have to finish it too. But I got stuck on a mission. In this mission you actually can't be seen by the enemies at all. You can't sound any alarms, which is hard as balls. So yeah, let's move on to Silent Hill Origins. This is also a PSP game ported over to the PS2. By far not as terrible as most people make it out to be, but yeah, not as good as the original Silent Hill games. And that brings us to Silent Hill 4, The Room. Yeah, there are a lot of people who like this game, there are also a lot of people who hate this game. Me personally, I love it. It's not as good as Silent Hill 2 or 3, but it's definitely close. So, yeah, let's move on to Silent Hill 3. You will never see me play this game. Damn, it's scary. I can't even get past the first hour of the game. It's really, really that scary to me. Yeah, I do own it, but I'm never gonna finish it, which is a shame. Yeah, maybe I should man up one day and actually try it again. But yeah, every time I man up and I'm gonna play this game, then yeah, my wiener suddenly disappears and I'm left with no balls at all. Silent Hill 2, definitely a good game. I don't like this game as much as Silent Hill 3, but it's not as scary as Silent Hill 3, so at least I can play this one. This is the director's cut, which also includes the it doesn't actually say what the campaign is called, but it contains an extra campaign. So yeah. Then we have Serious Sam, The Next Encounter. Yeah, go get Serious Sam on PC. It's way better. This Serious Sam doesn't have as much charm as the other Serious Sam games. It also doesn't play as well as the PC games. This one actually is a PS2 exclusive, so if you're a real Serious Sam fan, you should probably get it for the PS2 because you don't have any other options. Then we have Playboy The Mansion. It's basically a Sims game with a lot more women, and clearly it's designed for men. Yeah, I don't think I really have to add any more. Then we have Psyops, The Mindgate Conspiracy. It's a really awesome third-person shooter which also gives you some sort of superpowers. I mean, you can throw electric shocks, you can make things float, stuff like that, which is really amazing. And then we have Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. It's basically a kind of a combination between a platformer, I suppose, no, not platformer, adventure game and action. There's quite a few action sequences, but there's also a lot of jumping around, running on walls, stuff like that. If that's your thing, then you should definitely get this game. Then we have Obscure, which is a horror game that can be played in co-op, which is really awesome. I actually started the playthrough together with a friend. I kind of like the game. It's not as amazing as some of the other games in my collection, but yeah, it's fun. And we have probably the most popular Need for Speed ever made. I do like this game. It's by far not as amazing as Midnight Club, but I still like it. And that's about all. Oh yeah, I also have FIFA 2001 somewhere. Maybe it will show up later. I'm not a big FIFA fan, so yeah, that's probably why it isn't somewhere in those piles. So yeah, that's my PS2 collection. And we're off to my PS3 collection. I don't have quite as many PS3 games as I have PS1 and 2 games. But yeah, there are still some decent titles here. Like the Killzone trilogy. It contains the remastered edition of the first Killzone, Killzone 2 and Killzone 3. Definitely recommend these games. They're really awesome. I actually never finished the third game. I did start it. I played it together with one of my roommates, but he moved out, so yeah. Then we have The Last of Us, which is one of the best games from the last generation. If you have a PS3 or PS4, because they re-released it, you definitely owe it to yourself to get this game. It's really that amazing. It has a really good single player. Some people like the multiplayer as well. I'm not a big fan of it, but yeah, the single player should be more than enough to actually get this game. Really love it. Then we have Midnight Club Los Angeles. Not as good as number 3, but yeah, it's a decent game. It actually has some new features, like you can design your own stickers. Because in the other games, if you wanted to decorate your car with flames and stuff like that, there was some how do you say that? Pre-created flame stickers and stuff like that. But in this game, you can actually create your own designs, which is pretty awesome. And then we have Viking, Battle for Asgard. Yeah, get God of War instead. It's way better. And then we have GTA 5, which is probably the best game from last generation. Really love it. You don't have any reason to not have this game in your possession. I mean, it has been released on PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One and also PC. So yeah, get it. Go buy it now. If you don't have it already. I can't imagine, but yeah. Then we have Call of Duty Black Ops. I actually kind of enjoy this game. Every time I want to play a shooter on my PlayStation, I actually go back to this game. Because yeah, the Bad Company 2 servers are pretty much dead, which is a shame. I like Bad Company 2 much more than this game, but yeah, it's still fun. I really enjoy it. If you want want to pick up one of the older Call of Duty titles, I'd say go to World at War. But if you're not really into the World War II stuff, then you should probably go to Black Ops. I'm not a big fan of the Modern Warfare series, but yeah, okay. And then we have L.A. Noire. Awesome game. Really awesome game. It's kind of a detective game. The only downside is that I wish there were more consequences if you fucked up the case. Because a lot of times you make some stupid mistakes and the case just resumes like, yeah, nothing ever happened. And then we have... Get this fucking shit out of here. I don't want it. I paid $250 shipping costs for it, and Yeah, it would be more fun to flush it down the toilet. Then we have Black Ops 2. Not as good as the first Black Ops, but yeah, still a decent game. And we have over here the Ratchet and Clank trilogy. Awesome PS2 titles. I actually want to get these games on PS2 as well. Definitely recommend it if you like these kind of games. They might look a bit childish, but they're actually still fun. And then God of War collection, which contains God of War 1 and 2. Awesome games. I'm usually not a big fan of fighting games or beat 'em ups or whatever you want to call them. But this game is really amazing. It's just the atmosphere, the style, just the brutality of it. I really, really love it. Go get it if you don't have it. Go get any God of War. It doesn't matter which one. They're all good. For as far as I've played them. Gran Turismo 5. Yeah, what should I say about this game? I mean, it's cool, I guess, but since they released version 2.0, it actually kind of sucks. I mean, they removed the grid start. Grid start basically means that all the cars stand still in front of the start/finish line, and then when the counter goes down and hits 0, then all cars have to accelerate from not driving at all, basically. What they changed in version 2.0, they changed it to a rolling start. So that means all cars are already moving, and when the first car passes the finish line, then all the cars can accelerate, which really sucks. I mean, they shouldn't have done that. Second of all, they added a level progression. You need to have a certain level to unlock certain events and certain cars, and it takes a really long time to grind. And on top of that, they've taken the multiplayer function offline. So yeah, that includes the online market, which has some pretty decent cars for a low price. The multiplayer function and the ability to send cars to your buddies. So yeah, if you want a Gran Turismo game on PS3, yeah, get this one. It's better than Gran Turismo 6. But yeah, if you still have a PS2, then just stick with Gran Turismo 3. It's way better. Then we have Mercenaries 2: World in Flames. It's basically an open world game with over-the-top action. You can steal cars, drive tanks, blow shit up. Really awesome. Yeah, I never really got into the game because there are some features going on that are actually, I don't really understand them. I should really look into it. It's also released on PC, unfortunately not on Steam. So yeah, if you want to get it, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Go to the store, and hopefully they sell it there. Then we have Rainbow Six Vegas 2, one of the most awesome co-op games. It's a tactical shooter, and it's just really awesome. It's really awesome. It's also really awesome to play with a buddy, split screen. I have had some good amount of fun with it. Then we have Bad Company 1. Definitely one of the best single player shooters ever created. Not as amazing as Black. It's way funnier than Black, but it's not as good as Black. Yeah, it is a really funny single player. The multiplayer is decent, but I don't think there's actually anyone still playing that. Then we have FIFA 12. It's a soccer game. What else do you expect? Then we have PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. It's basically Super Smash Bros. But for the PlayStation, with PlayStation characters like Sackboy, Sly Raccoon, Fat Princess, Nathan Drake, Big Daddy for some reason, even though it's a multiplat character. The only character I really miss is Crash Bandicoot. I don't know why they didn't add him. Would have been interesting. I really wanted to Crash Bandicoot to be in this game. Then we have Silent Hill HD Collection. I have mixed feelings about this title. I mean, it's Silent Hill 2 and 3, which are both amazing games, but they really fucked up the HD collection. It contains bugs the original game didn't have. There are some weird effects going on. They changed the fog. It has frame rate issues because apparently the PlayStation 3 can't handle fog that well. Even though the PlayStation 2 didn't really have any problems with that. So yeah, I'd say Konami, you fucked up. But if you don't have a PS2 or a PC, I should say an older PC, then you should probably get it. I mean, it's still a decent game, but it has flaws the original titles didn't have. So yeah, then we move on to MotorStorm Pacific Rift. Awesome off-road racing game. Really awesome, really recommend it. The strength in this game is the different kinds of vehicles. You're basically, I mean, you can play dirty. If you pick a monster truck, you can play dirty, run over all the other competitors and stuff like that. Really good racing game. Really well balanced out. There aren't really actually any vehicles that are much better than others. Yeah, on certain tracks certainly, but let's move on to the Jak and Daxter trilogy. If you like platformer games, pick this one up. Not the not the PS Vita version because it has issues, but the PS3 version is amazing. Definitely recommend you to pick it up. It's originally a PS2 game, or at least all three of them are. So yeah, if you have a PS2, you can also pick them up for the PS2. Then we have AVP. This game is really underrated. It has a really awesome marine single player. The Predator single player campaign is also decent. The Alien single player campaign, meh. And the multiplayer is loads of fun. So yeah, really underrated, which is a shame. Then we have UFC Undisputed. Well, it's a fighting game, basically. It's like, yeah, UFC. Basically some sort of street fighting, I suppose. Then you move on to another interesting title, Starhawk. It's a third-person shooter with, yeah, I guess RTS element, or at least base build elements, I should say. Not really RTS, but base build elements. I have never played a capture the flag round that was as much fun as in Starhawk. I mean, you can build walls around your flag. You can build a force field around your walls, so the enemy can't shoot your walls while outside the force field. You can build buildings that supply vehicles. It's really amazing. I haven't played this one that much though, because yeah, I always have bad luck and get placed in a team that sucks. You know, the team with the Call of Duty noobs that just run towards the enemy base, don't do anything at all, and then later on find out that the enemy actually did build a decent base and they get just slaughtered. And the enemies don't have a problem capturing our flag because yeah, we didn't build defenses, or at least I did, but yeah, who am I to protect the entire base on my own? Then we have best multiplayer shooter ever. Really love it to death. It's a shame barely anyone still plays this online. Really, really loved it. I was also really good at it, or at least way above average. I wasn't one of the best players, I think, but yeah, really love it. Hopefully they will release a Bad Company 3 that isn't a rip-off of Battlefield Hardline, which is a rip-off of Battlefield 4, which is a rip-off of Battlefield 3. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the future brings us. Then we have Gran Turismo 6. Yeah, the racing is fun, but everything besides the racing isn't. So yeah, it's a shame. I mean, basically every car has a certain amount of performance points based on how good your car is, and to enter a race your car must not exceed the amount of performance points. If it does, you can't race, so you have to pick another car or change some settings so it performs worse, which really kills the game in my opinion. It also doesn't have a grid start, it has a rolling start again, yeah, so yeah, better stick to Gran Turismo 3. Doom 3 BFG edition. This one also includes the first and second Doom. It's a fun game. It's not as good as I expected it to be, because yeah, I haven't played the original Doom before, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So yeah, yeah, you should probably pick it up if you're a Doom fan, but if you're not, yeah, only if you have some spare cash, or if you can pick it up for cheap. Then we have definitely one of the best, if not the best, story-driven games ever. I like this game way better than The Walking Dead. Much better. There's a way better storyline. It also really plays with your feelings, and it's basically some sort of detective game, but you control 4 different characters, and eventually they will meet each other during the storyline, and it's really an interesting game. I don't want to tell you too much about the game. You should really experience it for yourself. Go pick it up. It shouldn't be too expensive. And then we have Sims 3. Sims 3. Based upon I think it's actually called Pets in English, I believe. I picked this up for a really low price, like $5, and it's definitely worth your $5. You can get tons of hours of enjoyment out of a Sims game. It's really great. And the best thing is I'm not really a big fan of the Sims on PC, because yeah, when I'm playing The Sims, I'd like to just sit back, relax, and I can't really do that on PC. So yeah, The Sims on PS3 is actually a great alternative. You can just sit back, relax with the controller in your hand, drink drink on your side, stuff like that. Yeah, it's really awesome. So yeah, those were my PS3 games, and I'll be right back with more. So yeah, I also have some games installed on my PS3 hard drive. By far, I do have way more games on the PS Store than are installed on my hard drive, because I also have a PS Plus account. But I thought I'd show you the games that are currently installed on my PS3. I don't know all the games, because some games I just downloaded with PS Plus because yeah, they're free. I really never actually played them, but yeah, maybe I will. So the first of all is Catherine. I actually downloaded this because I wanted to replay it. I'm usually not that big of a anime fan, but this game is really amazing. It has really an amazing storyline. It's a kind of a puzzle slash story driven game. The storyline is amazing. The puzzles are solid. The interaction with the game, it's just amazing. I really love it. I really love it. Except for the ending, it kind of has an anime style ending, a typically anime style ending, I think. I mean, I'm not a expert on anime, but I heard a thing or two. So yeah. And we move on to the next one. Aru's Awakening. Yeah, downloaded that for free with PlayStation Plus. No idea what it is. Then we have Tower of Guns. Same story. Dishonored. Not a big fan of the game. I do also own it on PC. I have tried it, but yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Then we have Little Big Planet 2 and 1, which are both platformer games. Really amazing 2D platformer games. You can also create your own levels, and it just looks really interesting. And we have Counter Spy, no idea what it is. Peppo and Yo, no idea what it is. Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment, I can kind of imagine what it would be like. Maybe I should try it out. Far Cry 3. First half of the game is amazing. I didn't really enjoy the second part of the game, because yeah, it just felt like I had to do everything I already accomplished all over again, and I didn't really feel like that. Rogue Legacy, I know it's a pretty popular indie game, but I have no idea what it is exactly. Yakuza 4, I've heard of this game before I downloaded it for free on the PS Store. But I've played it for a while. It's actually pretty interesting. It's a story-driven game, but it has a lot of dialogue, and you actually have to read the dialogue yourself, and I don't really enjoy that. That's why I haven't really finished the game yet, but okay. Then we have Thief. Still have to try that. I've heard bad things about it, but yeah, I should probably check it out. Then we have Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. This one isn't available on Steam. This is the only Splinter Cell game that isn't available on Steam, so that's why I downloaded it to my PlayStation 3. It's also available on PlayStation 2. It's a pretty awesome game. I'm not really good at stealth games, so for me it's actually also a really hard game. But yeah, you should pick it up and try that for yourself. Yeah, what do I have to say about this? It's the most amazing Western game ever. It's really good. It's way better than GTA 4, almost as good as GTA 5. If you have a last gen console, you owe it to yourself to pick this game up if you haven't already. It's really awesome. I haven't really played that much multiplayer though, but I heard it's pretty amazing as well. Then we have Duke Nukem 3D Megatron Edition. Awesome game, really awesome. I think it's actually really hard on console, but yeah, you can also get this game on Steam, so yeah. DuckTales Remastered. I've never played the original DuckTales. I know it's an NES game. I was thinking about picking it up, but you know, most NES games aren't that cheap. So yeah, I haven't played the remastered. I heard it's a lot easier, but it's still a decent game. So yeah, I should probably check it out soon. Then we have Hitman 2, Contracts, and Blood Money. Yeah, they're basically the same as the PS2 versions you saw earlier, but in higher resolution and with achievements this time. I actually want to try to get a platinum trophy for Hitman Blood Money, but I will probably never be able to do that. Then we have Mod Nation Racers, which is a kart racing game where you can create your own stuff, your own tracks. I've spent countless of hours creating my own tracks. It's really awesome. I definitely recommend it if you like kart racers. Then we have Back to the Future, Back to the Future, Back to the Future, Back to the Future, and Back to the Future. It's an episodic game from Telltale. It's not as great as The Walking Dead, but it's still a decent game. It's actually kind of fun. Then we have Fez, which is a pretty popular 2D slash 3D side scroller. It's kind of hard to explain. You should probably look up some videos if you don't know what it is. NBA 2K14. It's a basketball game. Yeah, what should I add? And then we have, let's turn down the volume a bit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Duels, which is actually a proper Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. It has quite a few extreme difficulty spikes, but it's still fun to play. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh! You're probably gonna like this game. Then we have Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Amazing over-the-top futuristic shooter. I really love it. I haven't really finished the game yet, but okay. Oh, and here we have the original Splinter Cell, which is also available on PS2 and also available on Steam. Assassin's Creed 3. I really have to finish this game for about over a year now. But yeah, I stopped playing it because of Black Flag. Black Flag is really amazing. Far better than any other Assassin's Creed game ever. Retro City Rampage. Yeah, what should I say about this? It has retro graphics, plays kind of like GTA 2, has really amazing references, really amazing storyline. Well, amazing. It has a decent storyline. Let's put it that way. So yeah, if you like those kind of games, retro games, open world games, you should definitely have a look at it. It ain't that expensive. Quantum Conundrum. It's a really amazing puzzle game. I think it's also available on Steam. If you like puzzle games, yeah, definitely pick it up. Then we have Beat Hazard Ultra. If you like rhythm games, then you should definitely have a look at Beat Hazard. You can basically, yeah, how do we? It's a 2D space shooter, and you play with your own music. You actually select a song, and then enemies spawn based on how the song plays, and then your weapons get more powerful as the song gets louder and stuff like that. It's really amazing. I definitely recommend it. It's also available on Steam. Then we have Battlefield 1943, which is a multiplayer only shooter. It's actually pretty amazing. I have no idea if there's still people playing this, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It has some of the levels from Battlefield 1942. It's more arcade, so you have to like arcade shooters. I mean, you have unlimited ammo. For example, reloading your sniper rifle is also like an arcade game. When you press reload, you always have to reload 5 bullets, no matter how many you still have left in your gun. So it feels like an arcade game. And when you run out of grenades and rockets for example your rocket launcher, they just replenish over time. So yeah, awesome game. It's a shame it has never been released on PC. They did want to release it on PC, but yeah, I've never seen it on PC. So yeah, that's a shame. Well, on this, it's Worms. Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Plants vs Zombies, also a pretty amazing real-time strategy slash puzzle slash whatever you want to call it game. Really amazing. You should definitely check it out if you haven't heard about it before. And then there's Ragdoll Kung Fu, which is basically a fighting game containing action figures. It's really fun to play. It looks hilarious. It's really amazing. You can download the demo for free, I believe. You should just have a try with it. And yeah, I have some minis. The Impossible game. Yeah, you've probably heard about it before, and if you haven't, yeah, you're basically a square who has to jump over spikes and over boxes and stuff like that. Then we have Carnivores, 2 parts. I believe those were originally PC games, but really old. Well, they're kind of fun. They're really outdated, but it's fun to play. And then we have Groove Rider, which is originally a PlayStation 2 game. This is also, yeah, it has been ported over to the PS3, so it works on the PS3, but it's exactly the same as the PS2 title. So yeah, it's a slot car racing game. You know those slot cars? Yeah, you probably had some when you were a kid, if you were a boy. Maybe not, but you've probably played with them before. It's really awesome, and you can shift between lanes and stuff like that, and yeah, it's really fun. You can probably pick it up for $5 or something. It's really awesome. And then we have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Resident Evil 2, both amazing horror games. Kula World, which is a puzzle game where you play as a ball who has to go through levels and stuff like that. Then we have Medieval. I already talked about this one before. Then we have Spyro. Spyro is a pretty fun game. I actually want to get those games for PS1 as well. And then we have Klonoa, which is also a pretty awesome 2D platformer. This is actually also a pretty valuable game. It's about $60, I believe. I actually want to pick them up sooner or later, but yeah. Because of the price tag, it's probably gonna take a while. Then we have Silent Hill, the original. I also need to buy this on the. I also need to buy a boxed copy on the PS1. It's not as valuable as Klonoa. It's probably worth about $25 to $30, I believe. I should definitely pick it up one day. And then we have Driver. I've also talked about that game before. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that is pretty much every PS3 game I own and every game that is installed on my PS3. So yeah, let's move on. And now we move on to my NES games. I don't have that many NES games because NES games are generally pretty expensive. So yeah, let's move on. We start with an odd one. This is the Konami Entertainment cartridge. 190 games on one cartridge. It contains a lot of arcade games, and there are also a lot of the same games. What's weird about this cartridge is that it's actually produced by Konami, but it isn't licensed by Nintendo. So yeah, that's pretty weird. And then we have Battletoads. I actually did a challenge video, I think it was, yeah, the day before yesterday I actually did a challenge, and yesterday I uploaded the challenge. Amazing game, amazing game. You should definitely pick it up if you have an NES. It's also not the most expensive game. I mean, Zelda and Castlevania are way more expensive. You can actually pick it up for $30, I believe, and Zelda doesn't usually go under 50. Then we have Marble Madness, which is a game where you play a marble and you have to lead that marble through a course. It's a difficult game. It's also pretty cheap. I actually picked it up for $5 or something. So yeah. And here we have a combination cartridge of Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. I don't think I actually have to explain anything about this game. It's actually unfortunate that the light gun doesn't work on modern TVs, because Duck Hunt is pretty awesome. But yeah, I need another TV for that, because a light gun, you can actually pick up a light gun for like $8 or something, and the cartridge itself was $10. So yeah, you can get a lot of enjoyment out of this if you have $17 to spare. If you have an NES and an older TV set, of course. Then we have Super Mario Bros. 2 in box, also known as Doki Doki Panic in Japan, I believe. It's actually kind of a weird game. Originally, this game was called Doki Doki Panic, and it wasn't a Mario game at all. Because in Japan they released Super Mario Bros. 2, but they thought it would be too hard for Western audiences. So instead they took Doki Doki Panic, gave it a Mario skin, and then sold it over there as Super Mario Bros. 2. We did get we did get the original Super Mario Bros. 2 later on the Super Nintendo, known as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. It's supposed to be a tough game, at least the Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is. I personally don't really enjoy this game. The game I play mostly when I play NES is Super Mario Bros. 3, which is, in my opinion, by far the best Mario game I've ever played. I haven't played that many Mario games, but I get the most enjoyment out of this one. Really love it. I really do. I wish I could actually record it and upload it to YouTube, but yeah, that probably I probably need to use an emulator for that. But yeah, if you've seen my Battletoads video, you probably know how well that goes, an emulator. So yeah, those were my NES games. And then we move on to the PSP games. Right over here, I've got GTA, Liberty City Stories, and GTA Vice City Stories. Both pretty amazing games for on the go. Really like them both. It's actually back then. It was actually quite mind blowing that you could actually play GTA on the go. Really awesome. Well, let's add a decent GTA game, because yeah, there is GTA Chinatown Wars. I believe it's actually released after this game, but yeah, compare GTA Chinatown Wars to these games, and yeah, it's no match really. Then we've got Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, which is basically a stripped down version of the Midnight Club 3 I showed you earlier. Or actually, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix is the expanded version of Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. This is the original PSP version. I believe it was ported over to the PS2 and they added some content, including an entire new city. Yeah, I definitely recommend the PS2 version way over this one, but if you don't have a PS2 but you have a PSP, yeah, you should definitely get this one. And then we've got Medieval Resurrection, which is a remake of the original Medieval. I think the controls suck. It's really hard to play this game, so yeah, that's why I usually stick to the original Medieval. You can also buy the original Medieval on the PlayStation Store and play it on your PSP. So yeah, you don't really have to buy this one if you want to play Medieval on the go. Then we have God of War, Ghosts of Sparta. Amazing God of War game. And then we have The Sims 2, Castaway. That's basically a Sims game. You crash on an island somewhere in the middle of the ocean and you have to survive. It's pretty fun. Then we have Jak and Daxter, The Lost Frontier, the last Jak and Daxter game, unfortunately. It's pretty awesome. Not as amazing as the other games, but it's still pretty awesome. Then we have got Need for Speed Carbon, Own the City. It sucks. I really don't like it. Then we have Gran Turismo, the real driving simulator. It's a weird game. It's nothing like Gran Turismo. Yeah, the driving is like Gran Turismo, but there's no GT mode. Stores only sell a few cars and that changes a lot of times. What actually is pretty cool about this game is that you can connect your PSP to your PS3 and trade cars between GT5 and this game. Then we have Medal of Honor Heroes 2. I have no idea why you would play a first-person shooter on the PSP. But yeah, if you want to play a first-person shooter on the PSP, this one is a decent game. Then we have Mod Nation Racers, which is basically a stripped-down version of the PS3 version. So yeah, if you want to buy Mod Nation Racers, then stick to the PS3 version. Then we have a movie. Yeah, apparently I have a movie that can be played on the PSP with a Wipeout demo. Yeah, nothing interesting. Then we have Assassin's Creed Bloodlines, based on the original Assassin's Creed. In this game you also play Altair. It's it's mind blowing. I should add. At least back then it was mind blowing. It actually feels very similar to the original Assassin's Creed, and it's really amazing to see that such a small handheld could handle a game like that. Never really gotten far into the game because when I'm at home I usually don't play handhelds, and when I'm on the go I usually listen to music. But yeah, I should definitely pick this game up again. Then we have a combination pack of Driver 76 and Prince of Persia Revelations. Prince of Persia Revelations, never really got into it, don't really enjoy it. Driver 76 is heavily based on Driver Parallel Lines, but a lot less crowded. There are barely any cars driving around, there are barely any civilians walking on the street. There is a free roam mode, but you can't actually access missions while in free roam mode. Like in GTA, you know, when you're roaming around the world and then you can just drive towards your mission, step in the marker, and then start your mission. In this game, you actually have a mission select screen instead of driving to your mission. Oh, it's not a big deal, I suppose, but yeah, it is a thing. And that does it for all my PSP games. Well, let's move on to my PS Vita games, which are right over here. Yeah, I don't own that many PS Vita games. There also aren't that many PS Vita games, and there are even much less enjoyable PS Vita games. So, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Well, it's a pretty cool game. I actually really enjoyed it. And then we have Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, which contains Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3, which are also both available on PS3 and PS2. Yeah, what should I say about Metal Gear Solid? I heard it's a great game, but yeah, I didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't also get really far into the game, so yeah, that might be a problem. But I think it feels weird. It probably requires some getting used to. But I do have some games stored on here, because you can get some games for free when you're downloading or when you have a PS Plus account. I don't know why the camera doesn't automatically focus, but can we actually get a... No. So this is gonna have to do. So over here we have PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, which if you bought the PS3 version you actually get the PS Vita version for free. It has a cross-platform multiplayer, so you can actually play against your friends while using your PS Vita. You can actually also use your PS Vita as a controller to play the PS3 game. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then we have this is Need for Speed. Already talked about that one. And we've got Uncharted Golden Abyss. Awesome game. Really enjoyed it. Here we have the Jack and Dexter trilogy. I already talked about that. Don't get the PS Vita version. The first game runs fine, the second and third are a mess. They have massive frame drops, continuous lag, stuff like that. Not really enjoyable. Then we have Formula 1 over here. Well, it's an enjoyable game. If you like Formula 1, you should probably get it. Otherwise, yeah, don't even bother. Then we've got Retro City Rampage. I already talked about that. Don't know what that is. Don't care either. Then we have Mod Nation Racers Road Trip, which is basically another Mod Nation Racers game, but for PS Vita. It's different from the other two games though. Then we have Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus. From as far as I've played it, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty enjoyable. Then we've got Sonic Transformed, it said. What's the full title? Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. Oh yeah, that's what the title was. Amazing kart racer. Not as amazing as Mod Nation Racers, I should add. And I've heard from a lot of people it's actually a really good competitor to It's a really good competitor to the Super Mario or Mario Kart. Then we have GTA Chinatown Wars. Oh, I still have to remove that. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Never actually got to play it. Duke Nukem 3D Megatron Edition. It's basically the same as the PS3 version. And then we have GTA Liberty City Stories, which is a PSP game which the PS Vita also supports. So yeah, that's basically all there is for my PS Vita. Then last but not least are my Nintendo DS games, starting with GTA Chinatown Wars, which is a really fun game. It has some really interesting gameplay mechanics. I really enjoyed it. It's a good game for on the go. And then we have a little something that looks kind of like a makeup box, but yeah, there are games inside. I must add, I haven't played all the DS games because I bought the DS not too long ago. I picked it up for a really great price. But yeah, we'll see. We have FIFA 07, which is a soccer game. The Incredibles, Rise of the Underminer. Yeah, don't know what that is. Then we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which sucks. Then we have Pokemon Ranger, which also sucks. Or at least, I don't like them. I kind of think Pokemon is cool, but yeah, those games were just no. Then we have The Chronicles of Narnia. And there is some stuff written under there which I can't read. Yeah, I haven't played that one as well. Then we have Pokemon White version. If you like Pokemon, then you're probably gonna enjoy White version. I liked it. I still like it. I'm actually still playing through it. Oh yeah, and that's close. And then we have this right here. Marvel Nemesis. Never really played it. Pokemon Diamond version, which is also a Pokemon game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Never really played it. Then we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, don't really like them. And then we have The Sims 2 Castaway. This version is really different from the PSP version. If you really want a good version of The Sims 2 Castaway, I'd recommend the PS2 version or the PSP version. Yeah, PS2 version is a little bit better because it has more content, I believe, and stuff like that. I don't actually own it myself, but I have played it. A friend of mine owned it. And then we have... I actually don't know if there's any stuff inside. Hold on. Yeah, there is something inside. Oh yeah. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. It's an amazing game that contains several mini games. And then we have Rayman Raving Rabbits. I remember the commercials back in the day, but I've never really played it myself. So yeah. Then the only games I really haven't talked about are my PC games. I am not going to discuss those as well. I do have some hard copy PC games, and let's just forget about those because the only PC games I actually care about are the PC games that are on Steam. So yeah, I will put a link in the description to my game list in Steam. And then hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.